All right. Did you figure out some factors? Okay. Now, can you go ahead and rewrite it as x squared plus that minus that plus that and really get to the end of the factorization? Like do the whole thing. Okay. Looks like it's taken a little bit of time, but that's okay because I'd rather it take time and you do it right than not understand it. So let's get started and take a look at this. So I have x squared plus 7x plus 6. First of all, we should look for a greatest common factor. That's the first thing. This is 1. When you have 1 that is one of your coefficients or your constants, you are not going to have a greatest common factor that's a number. I don't have an x in all of them, so that's not going to work. Next, it's not a difference of squares. It doesn't have 4 terms right now, so we're going to have to use the x. So first off, I write my ABCs. A is 1. B is equal to 7, C is equal to 6. You don't have to do this eventually, but I think for now, sometimes it works for people. In the top part of my x, I'm going to have A times C. A times C is 6, and B is 7. That's my B value. Now, if B is 7, and my factor that I multiplied, my product is 6, there's only one answer that's going to work, and that has to be the number 1 and that factor of 6 itself. That's the only way it's going to be higher, right? 1 and 6. So I rewrite this trinomial. Let's see. Let's go this way. I rewrite this trinomial. I'm going to do the first term. Come on. First term first. So that is x squared. Okay. Now, I'm going to write these middle two because I know 1 plus 6 gave me this 7. So I'm going to rewrite it as 1x plus 6x. Okay. And then I come and write the last term, plus 6. So your first term and your last term are going to stay the same. The middle term changes to these two that you just found. And then we're going to factor by grouping. So I'm going to group these two together, and I'm going to group these two together. So x squared plus x, my greatest common factor here is x, and you're left with x plus 1 plus 6x plus 6. Your greatest common factor there is 6. And when you divide, you get x plus 1. And here I have that same factor, x plus 1. Pull that out in front. And my final answer in the final factor is x plus 6. Did anybody happen to get that before I did or as I did? Mostly as I did. All right. Is this making some sense? Yes, maybe? A little bit? Okay. All right. Let's try letter B. Let's try letter B together. Okay. So as I am looking at this, I see x squared minus 8x plus 12. It has a coefficient of 1, so there is no greatest common factor there. All right? I can say A is equal to 1, B is equal to negative 8, C is equal to 12. I draw my x, and I know this is A times C and B on the bottom. So A times C gives me what number in the top part? 12. And B gives me -8 on the bottom. So this is a positive number. This is a negative number. That means both of my factors must be negative. And the larger one is going to be negative because this is negative. So let's see. 12, I've got 1 and 12. Is 2 a factor of 12? 2 and 6. 3 and 4. And because you've got 4, you know right away. Now, since this is positive, this means, because when you add them together, you get a negative, that means both of them have to be negative, because a negative times negative gives you that positive back. So what are my two numbers? -2 and -6. Because -2 times -6 gives you that positive 12, and you add them together, it gives you -8. All right, so let's rewrite my trinomial. Keep the first term, x squared. Change the middle to a -2x. Don't forget to put the x with it. And a -6x. You've got to put the x in there, right? And the last term stays as +12. I have 4 terms, so we're going to factor by grouping. Group the first two together. Okay. I'm just going to do this time. Group the last two together. But we're not multiplying. We're factoring out, right? What's the greatest common factor of that first group? What's the greatest common factor of this first group? An x. So pull the x out in front, and see, after a while, you might not even have to put divided by x. But if that helps, that's fine. X squared, take 1x away. What do you have left? An x. Minus and 2x divided by x. These x's cancel out, and you've got 2. Over here, notice we have a -6x. So I have to factor out a negative. And what's the greatest common factor of 6 and 12? 6. So factor out the -6. What do you have left? X minus 2. And we're doing the happy dance. Yay! Because we got the same factors. So what do I do with those? Bring them out front. X minus 2. And what do I have left? In the second set of parentheses, I have an x minus 6. There's your factorization. Are we getting the hang of this now? Yes? Okay. Let's do this last one. X squared plus 3x minus 40. You want to try it yourself? Boy, I can tell you guys are wide awake. All right, let's try. We'll do it together. Greatest common factor? No, because there's a 1 in front. Phone should be put away. So let's go. A equals 1, B equals 3, B equals C. B equals 3, C equals -40. Man. All right, so here we go. X marks the spot. A times C goes in the top. That is -40. B goes at the bottom. That is a 3. So we're trying to think of factors of 40, -40, that add up to 3. Is this the hardest part for you guys? Probably figuring out what those two numbers are? No? Well, let's see. 40. We got 1 and 40. How about 2? 2 and 20, right? How about 3? Does 3 divide into 40 evenly? Bless you. No. How about 4? 4 and 10. 5 times 8. Oh, and see, you either add them together or just kind of subtract. You're like, oh, there's a difference of 3. The fact that this is negative says one of them is going to be negative. And the fact that this is positive says the larger one is going to be positive. So that means these are all positives and these are negative. So what are my two numbers that add together to give 3? -5 and 8. -5 and 8. So let's rewrite, say it with me, rewrite this as first term x squared minus 5x, make sure you're putting the x's in there, plus 8x, running out of space, what's my last term? Minus 40. So we are going to group these. What is the greatest common factor of x squared minus 5x? X. And when you factor out that x, what do you have left? X minus 5, right? Plus, what's the greatest common factor of 8x and -40? Is 8 a factor of 40? Not yet. Is 8 a factor of 40? Yes. So you factor out the 8 and you have x minus 5 left, right? And we're doing the happy dance because here I have the same. Bring that out in front. X minus 5. And what do I have left? X plus 8. What do you think? Making some sense? All right. So homework number 1 was due yesterday. I only have 2 people. Well, I think somebody turned it in today. 2 people that have turned that in. Homework number 2 technically is due Monday. So just do a little bit of work over the weekend, okay? It is due on Monday. You guys are doing a great job with the factoring. Let's keep it up. Also, next week is the final week before break. You're going to have a skills check on Thursday. Remember, that's not a big test assessment. It's just a little quiz, making sure you know how to do things. Skills check on Thursday. Also, today is the last day you can do the weekly Canvas activity for 11-3. Today is the last day by midnight. Those are 10 easy points. Let's make sure we get those in.